Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to episode number 31 of Playing with House Money on the Toilets to Titles Network. I am Iceman at Iceman_1013 on Twitter. Welcome in. As you can see today, I am flying solo. No DJ Prue with me, unfortunately, but the show must go on, as they say. First off, hey, let's recap a wild week 17 in the NFL. Lots of playoffs matchups secured. But hey, better than that, lots of winners from us here at Playing with House Money. We talked on the episode last week on Thursday for Thursday Night Football. I dropped the Elijah Moore, Joe Flacco revenge game, and bang, we got the touchdown plus 400 for Elijah Moore. Cashed pretty early. Then he hit his 50 yards. Joe Flacco threw for 248 yards in the first half. Cashed the 250 early in the third quarter. The plus 1300 parlay there. Lovely and pretty much sweat free. And fortunately, even though he got injured, Elijah Moore is doing okay. Left the game after hitting his head on the turf late in the second quarter. Otherwise, he was on for a monster game. He finished. He could have hit. I know a lot of people had his 80 yard prop that would have cashed us out on a couple of other bets, but we got the important two, and that was the main thing. And then we had some odd straight winners here and there on Saturday and Sunday. The SGC, catch the brand new episode tomorrow, but we had some absolute bangers on the SGC over the New Year weekend. A plus 31.70 on Saturday, a goals one. We were a crossbar away from having a plus 115, 115 to 1 plus 11,000. But we got also a goal scorer fourfold plus 1759 on Monday, again with a bunch of other ones thrown in there. They're just the two bigger ones that we hit, but definitely making some money over at the SGC. So check us out. And hey, if you want to join us with any of these bets and stop missing out, find us on Discord at Playing with House Money. Go to the Twitter at PW_House Money. Links in the bio, or find me, or find DJ Prue. Ask him where he's at, what he's up to, and what he's got for you this weekend. And he will also tell you to get in the Discord and catch all of his plays this weekend, as he's not able to give you any today. But yeah, we're looking ahead. We have no Thursday night football this week. It's week 18, so there is no game this evening. But we do have some Saturday football. Both of the games on Saturday have implications with the playoffs and whatnot. Pittsburgh Steelers at Baltimore Ravens is the first game up. I personally do not like this game from a betting standpoint whatsoever. Pittsburgh need to win to get in. Baltimore, as we know, pretty much already sewn up their route. They're the number one seed. Probably going to rest some players. I know OBJ needs kind of 40 plus yards to hit some of his incentives. But I would imagine we don't see, Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers. Lamar probably doesn't play many snaps, if at all. So that's why the odds favor the Steelers right now. When we're looking at it, when we're thinking about that, Steelers are actually minus 200 on the money line in Baltimore, because the Ravens starters are not going to be playing, and Steelers will, because Steelers need to win to give themselves a shot at playoff football. So I really don't like that. This Ravens defense, even with a couple of their stars sitting against it, again, Mason Rudolph has done all right for Pittsburgh since he's come in. Certainly, obviously, much better than Kenny Pickett. But yeah, I mean, I'm not betting anything there. Houston v Indianapolis is the game we get on Saturday night, and I think that's a much better game. Both of these sides actually have something to play for here, so I do really like the over in this game. The line set at 47.5. It's minus 105 for the over. yeah, both of these sides definitely have stuff to play for, and want that victory to take them into the playoffs. So yeah, I definitely think we get some good stuff there. Colts currently have it. They're in, but the Texans are right on that bubble, so they want to get in themselves, and I think that game will have implications. Depending on how that goes for whether Pittsburgh, if they win, can still get in. If I think as long as this game isn't a draw, so yeah, I think both sides will go at it. This is the it's win or go home for them. So I expect to see Gardner Minshew and CJ Stroud slinging the ball. So I think the over is pretty safe. I think we see Houston lean on Dalton Schultz a lot in this game. He also, I think, again, I don't know how to take some of these bonuses. Some of the quarterbacks are going to want their players to get paid. The teams are going to say, hey, we don't necessarily want to pay out these huge bonuses. But I think Schultz only needs 4 catches to hit his. I like him. I like him to get some red zone targets, and plus 240 for his touchdown. That'll be where I'm going on Saturday night. And then on Sunday, we definitely have, obviously, a lot of games that are, have teams with they're already out of the playoffs, nothing to play for. We also have teams that have cemented their playoff places and are going to be not playing their starters. We've already seen the Los Angeles Rams come out and say that Carson Wentz is going to start at quarterback. Pucker is only playing because he needs 28, 29 yards to break the rookie receiving record. So he'll play 2 snaps. He'll get a 30-yard catch, and he'll be hooked. Cooper Kupp is sitting. Kyron Williams is sitting for the Rams. So, they're in San Francisco. They are not risking their players because they're in the playoffs already. Like the game doesn't mean anything for them. So that likely is going to happen with a few of these teams. They're going to give some of the rookies a bit more of a run out, see what they've got for next season. So, I don't like a lot of the 1 p.m. games on Sunday for either that reason or the fact that we have games that mean something, but between 2 teams that just really have tested my patience this year in trusting them. We've got the Atlanta Falcons against the New Orleans Saints. I went back and forth on that one, but I vowed never to touch a Saints game again a couple of weeks ago. That could be anything. These guys are basically both playing. They both have to win this game to try and get into the there's 2 places up for grabs. They have to win. You've got the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Tennessee Titans. Christian Kirk potentially is back, but again, same thing. I vowed not to touch the Jags again when they screwed me over a couple of weeks ago. Cost our parlay. We also have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. I went big again on them last weekend, and they made me look like an idiot. So both of those teams, I love Baker. I think they're going to win, but I'm not taking them at minus 225 on the money line. I assume they do go into Carolina and they get the win and they take themselves to the playoffs. I really hope for Baker's sake he takes himself to the playoffs and they don't lose in the first round. But I'm not betting on them because I got burnt last week. And yeah, again, same Minnesota Vikings against Detroit Lions. Nick Mullins back in at quarterback for the Vikings. I don't think they can decide who their QB1 is right now with Kirk Cousins out. I mean, if you live in the Detroit area, turn up. Maybe you'll get asked to play QB1. That's probably where Prue is this week. He probably just went for tryouts. But yeah, we're moving on to the 4 p.m. slate. The 4:30 slate on Sunday is, I think, where there is some real big games and definitely some value for us. First one I'm picking is the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. Prue will be happy that I'm picking his Bears when he is not on the show. I think that is not planned. But yeah, I'm taking the over in that game because Green Bay Packers win and in. They have to win this game and they're in the playoffs. Jordan Love takes them to the playoffs, $500,000 in his skyrocket. So I think they come out in Green Bay. They put up, 25 points. The over is set at 44.5. Justin Fields playing for his reputation. He's playing for the Chicago Bears fans. He's been very vocal about the fan base recently and how much adoration he has for them. I know a lot of Chicago Bears fans, Prue included, big fans of JF1, but seemingly there is that group of fans that say, they're going to get the number one pick and that they should take Caleb Williams. But Justin Fields is playing for either his Chicago life or he's playing to get a deal wherever he might get traded to next season. The Atlanta Falcons, Prue seems to think is what is going to happen, but we'll talk about more in the offseason. But I do think that the Chicago Bears offense do not make this easy for the Green Bay Packers, and they make a game of it. Certainly in the first half, we've seen Chicago multiple times this season make a game of it, be in front 3 quarters through, and then fold in the fourth quarter. I don't necessarily think that happens this weekend, but 45 points between two offenses that have got points to prove, I think is a nice low number, given that both sides have also struggled this season. That's why we get the low number, and we'll take that minus 102 for that. Seattle Seahawks is the second game. I'm taking the Seahawks team total, same thing. Seattle Seahawks have to go in and put on a display and win in Arizona against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. The Seahawks is the only chance they've got. They have to go in and win. Nothing else will do for them. Geno, I think, is back, and he is going to want to put on a show. They're minus 144 on the money line, but I'm taking the Seahawks team total over 24.5 is the line for the team total on FanDuel. I'm pretty certain they score 3 touchdowns in this game. That's given them 21 points as long as, Jason Myers makes the extra points. That just means they need 2 more field goals to cover the 25. If you feel more comfortable, that hook, the 0.5 on the 24 points, drop it down 1 and take over 23.5. Absolutely. But yeah, I think against this Cardinals defense, they probably put up 30, to be honest. Certainly in a game like Geno's going to throw this ball. He's, DK and JSN are going to feast. So yeah, I definitely like that one. And then we have, a big game, certainly for the Philadelphia Eagles in New York or in New Jersey at MetLife against the Giants. The Eagles need to do something, man. Like, I know our boys at Toilets to Titles and Justin has put out a lot of short content about Nick Sirianni and, potentially losing the dressing room and whatnot. But they're still the Philadelphia Eagles at the end of the day. They are playing for that number one seed, that number one. They want to win the NFC East, right? Like, they want to win. They hope the Cowboys lose. They have to go in and do a job and hope the Cowboys lose to the Commanders. The Commanders don't like the Cowboys, so they're not going to just roll over. I know they are plus 600 on the money line in that game. But Philadelphia still need to do their job. Philadelphia can't come to New York and lose and just allow the Cowboys to also lose and still take the 2 seed. Plus, the Eagles, they're in the playoffs already. They do not want to go into the playoffs playing the way that they have the last few weeks. They are going to want to right some wrongs before we get to the playoffs and make a statement. They're going to want to cover the minus 5.5 points that they're currently at on the spread. So the line here for the over-under is 41.5. I think we could see Philadelphia put that up on their own. But the Giants are also going to want to prove. But the Giants would love to spoil this party. And, Tyrod Taylor would love to find Darius Slayton for another 80-yard touchdown. Saquon Barkley, again, proving a point going into the offseason. He's had the franchise tag this year. These guys are not, I think Giants score 2 touchdowns and put up 14 points themselves, and that leaves us only needing 28 points from the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think they score a touchdown in every quarter. So, that over, I really like that. Like I said, Philadelphia could easily put that up themselves. And then the last one, we're hoping that we're going to roll on to prime time, the big game Sunday night, the Buffalo Bills against the Miami Dolphins in Miami. I'm taking the Bills over 26.5 total points. The expectation is that this is a shootout. And, the line for the over-under is 49.5. Dolphins are already in. Dolphins have secured the playoffs. They've won the AFC. They're top of the AFC East. If the Bills win, they can win the AFC East, and they get the 2 seed. So this game is huge, and the way the Dolphins have been playing recently, I know the Bills haven't been that much better, but Bills have been finding ways to win games without getting Stephon Diggs involved too heavily. The Dolphins, we saw what happened when they went to the Ravens. We saw what happened against the 49ers. They're trying to force Tyreek the ball to get to Tyreek's 2,000 yards. The Ravens knew what they had to do to defend that. Tua, shoulder injury, not nice what happened to Tyreek this week. There was a fire at his home. He had to leave practice. So his mind is also elsewhere right now this week. I just, going into this game, I think things are certainly in the Buffalo Bills' favor to win this game. And as I've said on the Toilets to Titles show a couple of weeks ago, and as I said on last week's episode, Josh Allen has been in this situation before. He has taken this team to AFC Championship games. He knows how to win when the chips are down, when the money is on the table. He knows how to win these types of games. And I think that we get a Josh Allen rushing touchdown. I think we get a Stephon Diggs 60-yard touchdown. I think this is the game where Stephon Diggs comes back out and the Buffalo Bills say, hey, we might only be the 6th or 7th seed right now going into this game, but you should not underestimate us in this playoff race. Because on their day, this Buffalo Bills side can beat anyone in the league. And the way that the Miami defense is great, it's keeping them in games, but I just think they're going to be on the field a lot. The Dolphins defense, I think this could be a high scoring game. But in a high-scoring game, there's no way the Bills don't put up more than 30 points, any less than 25. The line's, like I say, 26.5. So, we've got the Seahawks and the Bills team totals. Again, if you're uncomfortable with the 26.5 hook and the 24.5, take them at 24. 3 touchdowns and a field goal each. Lower them to over 23.5. And then the Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants over 41.5, and the Chicago Bears against the Green Bay Packers over 44.5. Hey, want to be risk averse? Take both of those games over 39.5. No problem. Take that. It drops you down probably to around plus 700 for the 4 if you drop all of those lines. If you keep them all where they are, like we've talked about, you're going to get plus 1,300. I love a plus 1,300. Iceman at at Iceman underscore 1013. We hit the plus 1300 on Thursday Night Football on last week's show. Let's hit another plus 1300 this Sunday to cap off the regular season. And if you want DJ Prue's picks, hit him up on Twitter at PrueBaby10. Find him in the Toilets to Titles Gilded chat. Find him in the Playing with House Money Discord. It's in my bio. It's in the at PW underscore House Money bio. Get in there. Find out what picks he's got. I'm sure he will have a free play or two for missing the show this week for all of you guys. But whatever you're betting on this week, good luck. Have fun. Let's kick off 2024 with an absolute bang and go into the playoffs when we're playing with more house money.